Order and welcome, everyone.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the schedule of meetings adopted at organizational meeting held on January 6, 2025. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Kenilworth Board of Education has been provided to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and local source on December 10th, 2025. A copy has been filed with the Kenilworth Borough Clerk, posted in the board office, the Kenilworth Borough Hall, Brearley, and Harding Schools, as is provided by the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you, Mr. Ganell. Please rise and join us in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Ganell, can we please have roll call?
Biner.
Here.
Concoli.
Here.
David.
Here.
Ferrara.
Here.
Habather.
Here.
Herdina.
Here.
Wadati.
Here.
Panici.
Here.
Zimmerman. We have quorum.
Thank you. We'll now have the receiving of the minutes and committee notes of the secretary from the regular Board of Ed meeting minutes, December 9, 2024, and committee meeting notes from the Personnel Committee that met on December 9, 2024. Can I please have a motion for the receiving of the minutes and receiving of the committee notes of the secretary? Motion. Second. Motion made by Dr. Concoli, seconded by Mr. Ferrero. All those in favor of saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion's carried. Mr. Ganell, do we have any monthly correspondence?
Yes, we have two pieces of actually three pieces of correspondence. A memo from Joanne Rajapi to myself regarding the certification results of the general election on November 5th, 2024. We have a holiday card from the KEA to the Board of Education, and we have a letter from Christine Guerrera from Vice President of Union County School Boards Association regarding school board member recognition.
Okay, thank you. Can I please have a motion to accept the monthly correspondence? Motion made by Dr. Concoli, seconded by Mr. Ferrero. All those in favor of accepting the monthly correspondence, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion's carried. We will now have the superintendent's reports and presentations. Superintendent Davies.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you and welcome. Exciting night tonight. We have some honored student guests as well as an honored faculty guest. Mr. Cuesta is here tonight to lead off the superintendent's report and the student spotlight section. Mr. Cuesta is a veteran teacher of Brearley, and he is a chemistry teacher as well as a teacher of a new course that we introduced this year at Brearley called AP Research. And he's going to talk a little bit about the course, and he has two students here today that he's going to introduce regarding their work. So I'm excited to hear from Mr. Cuesta as well as our two students, Sasha Shestak and Aiden Falcon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Board presentation, right? Oh, that one, yeah.
Gives me a moment to practice. All right. Good evening.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Thank you very much to the Board of Education and to Superintendent Davies for having us. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about the AP Research class and about the AP Capstone program more generally. If we could move to the next slide.
Working on it. There we go.
Okay, so AP Capstone is a program here at David Burley that we've been working towards for a few years, and now with the final piece, AP Research, we have the entirety of the program. Thank you. So the AP Capstone program is a certificate and diploma program. The certificate comes from completing AP Seminar and AP Research in that order, scoring a 3 or higher, and the AP Capstone Diploma comes from completing those courses along with 4 other AP exams with a score of 3 or higher. And they really serve as a means of showcasing the academic achievement of students. Students can use them for resume building, for applying to universities, to show that they've gone through a rigorous set of coursework. So I want to talk about the class that I'm teaching, which is brand new this year. So this is AP Research. It's focused on students conducting research within a field of their choice. AP Research is not a science class, it's not a math class, it's not an English class, it's a research class, right? The key here is that students are able to select the field that they want to research in. It's not provided to them. So if a student is interested in mathematics, and science, and humanities, and the arts, they're really free to pursue whatever they want. Now, College Board puts a really big emphasis on the difference between research with a lowercase r and research with a capital R. So let me talk for a second about what that difference is. Research with a lowercase r is something that all of us do all the time. You know, you need to buy a new car, you're gonna research what are the articles out there about cars? What am I looking for? I'm trying to get some ideas, I'm trying to learn more about the different manufacturers, the different models. What do I even need? Do I need an SUV? Do I need a pickup truck? And then more specifically, what features are important to me? What am I looking for in safety? What are even the things to consider in safety? Research with a little r is when you're educating yourself. You're trying to gain knowledge and skills that you didn't have beforehand, right? So, you know, my wife and I are having a baby and we're looking for a pediatrician. We're not going to discover anything new about pediatrics. We're going to discover things that are new to us, but not to the field. Research with a capital R is supposed to be, we're not just gaining knowledge and skills that are new to us, they're new to the field. We're doing something novel, we're doing something unique, something that's never been done before. We're adding research to the body of knowledge so that somebody who does research with a lowercase r would reference that, would use that as a cited source in their own presentations. How are we assessing that? It really comes down to two different things. We're doing an academic paper. This is 75%. This is going to be graded by College Board. It's a 4,000 to 5,000 word paper. It's meant to be a scholarly work. It's meant to be formatted, both in the way it's cited and the way it looks, exactly the same way that a research article would be in a research publication in whatever field the student is researching. So if it's in the field of architecture, for example, it should look like an article that you see in a architectural research publication. The other portion of it is 25%, that's the presentation and oral defense. That's meant to mimic like a doctoral thesis or presentation. So the paper is the dissertation and the presentation is like a doctoral defense. The student stands in front of a panel of a handful of people, they present their findings and they field questions from the panel. And then that's graded by myself and the panel. We have two students here tonight who want to talk to you a little bit about their research. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity and for letting us speak here tonight.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Mr. Cuesta has already told you, I am one of his AP Research students. My name is Sasha Shestok, and today I've been given the opportunity to discuss my a brief overview of my pending research study on the topic of flavanols, which are a type of chemical compound that exhibits a multitude of antioxidant properties and are mainly derived from a wide range of plant materials. I am currently in the process of extracting these compounds from a variety of Slavic branded chocolate. Cacao is considered one of the most abundant sources of the flavanols catechin and epicatechin. However, there's a severe lack of comparative analysis done on both the variety and quantity of these flavanols within various brands of Slavic chocolate. I hope that by conducting a quantitative chemical analysis, I would be able to broaden the body of nutritional knowledge on Eastern European chocolate brands. I want to thank you all again for your time and consideration. I hope you all have a good night, and thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Aiden Falcon, and the research topic that I've been researching currently is about AI in meteorology. The study I'm conducting is I'm having an interview with 7 meteorologists, where I'm asking them questions based on how their jobs have changed ever since the implementation of machine learning forecasting models, which is just AI in meteorology. With this study, I'm hoping to provide new researchers with more data on how AI has been affecting the field with its recent resurgence, well, not resurgence, but like reappearance everywhere. Thank you for your time today.
Chris, do you want to
No.
closure that? Or
Thank you very much for your time and making time for us.
I just have a certificate of appreciation for both Sasha and Aiden, so I'm going to deliver those, shake your hands, and
Take
then
some
do a
pictures.
quick picture.
Okay.
But just,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you so much. It's really exciting to have this course come to David Brearley. For the board and for the public to know, last year, Brearley introduced AP Seminar, which was the first course that Mr. Cuesta mentioned. This is now the second year, so we introduced AP Research. So these students are eligible for that AP Capstone Diploma, which is exciting for them, and it would be a great feather in their caps for college admissions and whatnot. So best of luck to you as you continue your research process. I think it's really interesting what you're up to, and it's really fascinating that you're able to pursue just some topics that are of interest to you and really delve deeply. It sounds like you know what you're talking about, and you're very articulate to do so, so well done. Picture right here with Mr. Cuesta. Sample? No? Curriculum director?
Why a little bit bound?
Oh, rotate. Open it up.
One way or the other.
Oh, never mind. Just okay.
Yeah, as long as it's straight up, horizontal or vertical, either way. Just leave a little bit out. All right, 1, 2, great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Hi, congratulations.
Congratulations, guys, well done.
Thank you so much, and also congratulations on the baby.
Yes.
It's exciting. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up for our presentation is Nalcy Sully to give the student representative to the board presentation.
She's wearing the brand. Would be a nice brand.
Good evening and Happy New Year. I'm Nalcy Sully and I'm excited to be here as David Brearley Board of Education representative to talk about our recent and upcoming events. On December 19, we had our band, chorus, and dance class perform in the newly renovated auditorium for the winter concert. Every seat was full as the groups displayed their talents. Special thanks to Mrs. Pipa, Mrs. Sarah, and Miss S for leading our students on stage. Last week, our guidance counselors played a college admissions game with our sophomores. Students simulated the experience of being a college admissions representative and evaluated the applications of hypothetical college-bound students. This week, they are meeting with the junior class to go over the college application process. On January 7th and 8th, almost 40 students took the New Jersey SEAL Biliteracy exam. Students that achieved the SEAL have studied and attained proficiency in at least one language addition to English. Our winter sports are underway. Students are participating in boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and winter and competition cheerleading. Be Nice Co., me and the Students of Peer Advisory recently did our 7th drop. The brand dropped on December 4th, and it actually ended on December 25th. All funds went to St. Teresa's Food Pantry. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you guys again in February. Go Bears.
Before she leaves, does anyone have any questions for Nalcy about any of the happenings from a student perspective? Thank you,
Thank
Nalcy.
you.
Appreciate it. Next up is Mr. Ganella with our referendum projects update.
Your Mr. Cuesta's father was my star witness in my first 2 tenure cases in Elizabeth. Wow. So when I heard the name Cuesta and I looked up and I saw his dad, Frank, sitting there, it was great to see him.
That's nice.
So,
Full circle, Vita.
that's correct. I was considerably younger than his son when those trials took place, so, anyway, thank you for that, personal privilege.
Good evening, everyone. This is our monthly update on the referendum projects. So the field, nothing's much has changed with regard to the fields and the HVAC projects. We're basically waiting for some closeout documentation and working on the punch list items with the HVAC upgrades, working on some of the programming challenges. Sometimes it's a little wiring here or there that needs to be tweaked to get the proper temperatures in the classrooms and the other areas. The addition area, Area A, which is the main addition, the second floor slab is scheduled to be on, that's a little, well, it's already been installed. Irrigation is pretty much complete on the baseball field. It's moving over to the softball field. Sod installation is going pretty well. We're waiting for some warmer days, from about 40 degrees. They need about 4 40-degree days to do that. So they're confident that it can be done. The installer's confident that it can be done. So I'm optimistic. Steel installation is complete. The mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is done. The elevator and stairwell CMUs is almost is basically done. We've seen a lot of progress in that area. The auditoriums are complete at Brearley. Harding, the seats are being installed this week, and they were being delivered today. So that project should be wrapping up hopefully by the end of the month as well. The lobby, pretty much complete. The ramp and the stairwells, the railings are complete. The storefront installation is done, and we're basically waiting for inspections to be completed there. Hopefully by this time, next time we meet, we'll be in there. The kids will be using it for several weeks, hopefully. Some additional pictures here of the areas that are being renovated. Some things are moving along nicely, especially the lobby space. If you get in there, I think you'll be very impressed with the way that came out. And Harding's auditorium is looking pretty good for a facility that's over 100 years old, so pretty pleased with that. Regarding completions, as I said, project 1 and 2 are almost 100%. Project number 3, which is the additions at 30, it's probably about 34% now. Auditorium seating, 50%. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll be closer to 100% on that. And the good news is the science rooms, we'll be able to do things like getting into the science rooms and starting measuring for the casework and the lab equipment in there. So they're going to be cruising right along with that. Hopefully that fabrication will be done and get ready to be installed in June. That's basically all I have. I don't know if you wanted me to update on the situation we had this evening.
That's part of but go ahead.
Okay, so we ran into a little issue today towards the end of the day at Brearley. Started to have some bathrooms backing up, which isn't uncommon for Brearley to have bathrooms backing up for various reasons. But then it started to proceed to other areas of the building. And that piqued our curiosity. So we found out, we called the DPW to see if they could take a look at what's going on between the street and Brearley. When they inspected it, all they could see is rocks and debris coming out, no real water going into the sewer when they jetted it out. So we had to call our plumber out, who indicated that a pipe collapsed between the school and the street. And that's the main sewer to the entire building. So that shut water, that means that we don't have any way to use bathrooms. So we immediately took action and develop the remediation plan. You want to go over the remediation plan, since I think you were prepared for that?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
So we've ordered portable toilets to Brearley. They're being installed right now on the exterior of the building. There's 28 units that have arrived just about an hour ago, so that we can operate school. We have 2 snow days, but it's still early January, if you will. So I'm reluctant to utilize the snow day at this point. And we thought with the ability to have a half day tomorrow. So Brearley will dismiss early tomorrow at noon. This way we're minimizing the amount of bathroom usage. And we also had to take into consideration the cafeteria, because the cafeteria needs water in order to prepare food. But the water comes into the building, but water leaving the building is the issue. So we don't want to have the cafeteria operational tomorrow. So that was the purpose for our early dismissal at Brearley only. So Harding will operate on a normal schedule. Brearley will dismiss at 12 o'clock to minimize bathroom usage and because of the cafeteria concern. I'm told that this should be fixed tomorrow, and then we should be back in full operation for Wednesday. So I think this is just a small temporary blip where we, can take care of things tomorrow. We also have lots of water bottles on hand for any students or faculty who need water. We have separate facilities for faculty and students. We'll have extra security on staff for people have to go outside to use the restroom, so we'll have extra security courtesy of the Kenilworth Police Department. So we thought through all those things, and we're working to keep school open for tomorrow.
Anybody have questions for superintendent for tomorrow?
I just have a question, and of course, the nurse will be able to get whatever.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Anything else? Okay.
For
I have
tomorrow?
okay.
No, I'm asking if anybody has any questions
No,
for tomorrow.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Just a couple other things too. It was great to see our students back to school in the new year along with our staff. The hubbub of the holidays is now behind us, and as I walk the halls of both Harding and Brearley these past 2 weeks, I see students committed to a 2025 of hard work and learning. I want to remind parents that we're working to instill not only learning standards and skills, but also values of proper decorum and etiquette in school. Since it is a new year when we all recommit ourselves to being our best selves, whether we hit the gym more often or lay off the sweets, I similarly encourage parents to refamiliarize themselves with our code of conduct via our student handbooks. I encourage parents to refamiliarize themselves with the rules and regulations of our schools and to always remind their children of how to be in school, and I think it's important. The best way to support our teachers is to reinforce the importance of school, to reinforce the importance of respect in school, and to reinforce the respect for our teachers. So I wanted to note that at the beginning of our new calendar year of 2025. I also want to let the school community know that I took advantage of the Department of Ed's call for public hearing on school financing, and specifically the equalization aid formula. If you recall last year, our district lost the equivalent of $1.6 million of state aid, which caused significant cuts in programming and personnel, not to mention undoing our budget that had been worked on for countless hours by teachers, administrators, and board members. It was tough. We made some hard decisions, but I'm proud of what we were able to do despite the cuts in state aid. The state knows that the funding formula is broken, but to date there's been no fix to address that broken formula. So I thought it was important to add Kenilworth's voice to the litany of districts that were at this hearing. Superintendents and board members from East Orange, Hillsborough, Jefferson, Middlesex, Dover, Ocean Gate, Highbridge, Delaware Valley, Flemington, Raritan, Lapacong, Monroe, Parsippany, Hillsdale, Rahway, Piscataway, and Kenilworth were present at this hearing to voice their concerns about the state and its budget formula. I addressed the 42.74% aid loss that we endured and its effects on our district, the absurdity of creating a budget with no concept of how much aid we're going to receive, the amount of work that has to be undone once we learn of state aid after the fact, and the need for a more fair formula, as well as transparency and predictability. My statement mirrored everyone else's, but again, I thought it was important to contribute Kenilworth's voice to the conversation. Please note, the state is still accepting statements until January 17th, so anyone who would like to add their voices is welcome to do so. Mr. Ganella and I will be submitting a statement as well. We do remain worried about the upcoming state aid figures that will be released in late February, but I'm hopeful that folks are listening and the state is listening and that something will be done in the next several weeks so that we don't have to have a repeat of last year. Speaking of budgets and financing, I also want to clarify a concern that was brought forth in last week's board meeting during public comment. There's a concern about the impact of personnel on our budget with the creation of a new middle school. Specific concerns have arisen about a new principal, a middle school nurse, a secretary, other staff members, and I want to make the public know that we are very conscious of taxpayer burdens and very consciously designed the new middle school with that in mind, to have a minimal impact on our budget. Specifically, we're making room for a new middle school principal on the leadership team by combining currently existing roles. We are not increasing the size of our leadership team. The district currently employs 3 nurses. When we open the new middle school, there will be 1 nurse at Harding, 1 at Brearley Middle School, and 1 at Brearley High School. We are not increasing the size of our nursing team. And the district will also be reallocating our counselors, case managers, and secretary roles and responsibilities. We are not increasing the size of any of those positions. So I just want the public to be aware that, yes, they've supported us very much so with our referendum and our projects, but it is having minimal impact on our staffing needs. We recognize the support that Kenilworth has for its school system and vouch to never take advantage of it. All budgetary decisions are made with an eye towards how we can best use our resources and our personnel at all times. Finally, tonight I want to recognize the 9 volunteers that sit amongst me right now at this table each month, who donate countless hours to committee meetings, communications, decision-making, community outreach, and support of our educational system. January marks the occasion of School Board Member Appreciation Month. And so it is with profound appreciation that I publicly thank our board members tonight for their service to our students. Any community needs people who go above themselves and give of themselves for the good of others. Each of these members up here volunteer themselves, their time, their energy. They spend time away from their families, and board members do that several times a month and beyond. They don't get paid, they don't get many accolades, not many perks, but they do this for the good of our community. So I take the opportunity to thank them for their dedication to Kenilworth Public Schools, its educators, and its students. Thank you, each and every one of you. In particular, I want to recognize 2 board members tonight for their longevity at this table. Mr. Anthony Laudowdy has served us for 15 years. Mr. Laudowdy, thank you for your dedication to the board and to Kenilworth students.
Thank you.
For you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
And also, Ms. Zimmerman could not be here with us tonight, but she has served for 25 years on the Board of Education for Kenilworth. Ms. Zimmerman, thank you as well for your dedication to the board and to Kenilworth students. Finally, to conclude the superintendent's report, there is one new HIB to investigate, or to look into, excuse me. There was one investigation in the month of December, resulting in one confirmed HIB at Brearley. That is in your meeting notes. Also a reminder that you'll be voting later on in the meeting on the November. There are 2 incidences and you're voting on the November. So those are different than the new one. So one confirmed HIB at Brearley is in your notes. Also in your packet is the December discipline report, followed by the monthly enrollment report, followed by the monthly residency report. So I'll give you a minute to take a look at the HIB, the discipline, the enrollment, the residency, and if you have any questions before we move on, I welcome them. If there are no questions, that concludes the superintendent's report for January. Thank you very much.
No questions at this time?
No, good.
Thank you, Superintendent Davies. We will now move on to report of committees, review of resolution, and board discussion. Up first is Finance, Facilities, and Negotiations. Mr. Ladati.
Okay, so I'll just start with my narrative. The some audit reports have been submitted to the Department of Education within the statutory limits. The audit will be presented to us in February at the regular meeting. Both of those relate to the budget. The administration have submitted their budgets to the superintendent and to the business administrator for review. The Finance Committee will start those reviews, or our review of the budget, in early February. Again, Mr. Davies spoke about his testimony at the public hearing, and I know I want to thank you for that, because it would make our life a lot easier on the Finance Committee, but thanks for doing that. Also, we had another issue in the school. We had a water heater leak. So we had to install a new 200-gallon hot water heater at Brearley in the locker room. Just, again, just kudos to our maintenance department, and, with Mr. Gannella's guidance, our maintenance staff put that in there themselves, and we saved $10,000 than farming the project out. So, our maintenance team does that a lot during the school year, of saving us money by doing those projects, so it really comes in handy. We spoke about the sewer main break. The one thing Mr. Gannella failed, we're going to try to apply for insurance.
Correct.
A claim to the insurance carrier for the cost.
Yes.
So that's on there.
Hot water heater, too.
And the hot water heater. So we're right on top of all those issues. Resolutions, I'll move to resolutions. The first three are the normal monthly fare. They include the finances and bills, payments, checks. I perused them all. All seem to be in order. There's no outliers that I could find. Line item transfers, there was just one line item transfers that were over a $5,000 cap. And a request for the transfer has been submitted to the county superintendent to cover the cost of our new snow plow, and that cost is about $8,800. It went from, it's in the same line of business, but it's transportation to equipment. So that's all set there. Resolution 5 is the workshops and travel. Number 6 is payment to the contractors for the work performed. Again, I reviewed all the work performed, and what we've paid is for the work that was completed, so we're right on target there. 7 is the Board of Education month. That's number 7. 8 was a donation, $4,000 donation to the robotics team. 9 and 10 are tuition reimbursements. They were all under the Rutgers rate. And 11 is the bilingual waiver state data submission. So basically, that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for myself. And if they're hard, I'll let Mr. Gannella answer them on the finance side. But the finances are all in shape. Do we get the final audit from that audit? Yeah, it's finalized, so we'll take a look at it next week, so.
Next one.
Any questions for Mr. Ladati on tonight's items?
Okay.
No? Okay.
Negotiations, they're continuing, and I'll give you more detail on our position during closed session. Okay?
Thank you.
That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. We'll now move on to Personnel and Management. Mr. Haberthon.
Thank you. Real quick, the Personnel Committee met on December 9th at 6 p.m. Present was myself, as well as Dr. Panici, Mr. David, and Mrs. Drogan. Also present were Mr. Gannella and Mr. Davies, sorry. We did cover matters that were confidential and cannot be shared publicly, so that's that. 8 resolutions tonight. Resolution 12 is a resignation. Resolution 13 is a 24-25 a.m. lunchroom aides and paraprofessional aides. Resolution 14 is the approval of the interim assistant principal. Resolution 15 is a leave replacement. Resolution 16 is a maternity leave of absence request, the approval of. Resolution 17 is a leave of absence request. Resolution 18 is an approval for SOA paraprofessional staff in the 24-25 school year. And Resolution 19 is the approval of athletic stipend positions. And that's it.
Any questions for Mr. Haberthon on any of the resolutions, positions? No? Okay. Thank you. We'll now move on to curriculum instruction. Mr. Ferrera.
Curriculum instruction, resolution number 20 is program of studies. Resolution 21 is curriculum adoption. 22 resolution is HIP report from November. Resolution 23 is policy review. It's P5305, health services personnel, mandated, revised. In summary, the state updated NJAC 6 Alpha 16-2.3, which outlines the roles and responsibilities of school physician and school nurse. The revisions to policy 5305 include language from NJAC 6 Alpha 16-2.3 addressing the requirements for the school physician's license status and required appointment contract, and to incorporate the provisions of New Jersey Alpha Charlie 6 Alpha 162.3 into the policy. There's no impact at this time, and that's all for curriculum.
Thank you. Anyone have questions for Mr. Ferrera on the new policy or curriculum instruction resolutions? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ferrera. Okay, we will now go on to old business. Any old business? I would like to add to old business, as we usually do every week, just reminding everybody the Friday folder does go home, contains a lot of information for parents, the public, that receive it, and supports different school events and information on the website, including the referendum updates. And there's communications that go out from the leadership's teams throughout the week. So those are part of our old business every week. New business? A few things. You already mentioned the budget updates. One, I'd like to thank our colleagues for Board Recognition Month. It's very important. The Be Nice students requested that we share with everyone at the meeting. As our student representative said, they're on their 7th drop of clothing. They actually design the clothes. It's an industrial arts program, and they sell them, and there's a website. There's a social media, so please share if you're interested to support them and purchase their apparel. And there was some new business about New Jersey requirements. Some of the teaching requirements for the test were public this week. So if people have questions about those, they can visit the NJDOE website about those new testing requirements. They're getting a lot of buzz online. You can visit the NJDOE state website if you're interested in understanding what those testing requirements are for teachers. And last but not least, we had the opportunity, a few of us, to attend the December concert, which included the dance program we have here, choir, and band. It was a phenomenal event, and the auditorium was packed in December. The students, it was evident that they practiced, and the advisors did a wonderful job. And we've talked about, continuing those opportunities, looking for grants and opportunities for the arts, and creating that pipeline for the students. It really was a great performance, and you could tell they had purpose, and they had been practicing for a really long time. So it's just something we wanted to highlight. We haven't had an opportunity to meet since that concert, but it was a great opportunity, and the students did great. So anyone else for new business? Anything else you want to share? No? Okay, so we'll now open up the meeting to the public. Is there a motion to open up the meeting to the public? Second? Okay, motion made by Mr. Ferrera, seconded by Dr. Concoli. All those in favor of opening the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Mr. Ganella?
This public comment will now be accepted. The Board of Education sets a limit for the public to speak at the board meeting to 5 minutes per person unless prior permission has been granted by the board to extend time pursuant to Board of Education Bylaw 0167. For the record, when you approach the podium, please indicate your name and address prior to making your comments.
Any public like to make any comments at this time? No? Okay. Seeing no comments, we'll now make a motion to close the meeting to the public. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second?
Motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Haberther. All those in favor of closing the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion's carried. The meeting is now closed to the public for comment. Mr. Ganella, are we prepared to vote on roll call of resolutions, please?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
There are 24 resolutions on this evening, actually 23 on the public prior to going into closed session, 1 through 23. So this is 1 through 23 on the agenda. Do any of those need to be voted on separately? No? Okay. So this is for resolutions 1 through 23 on the agenda. Biner?
Yes.
Crincoli?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Ferrara?
Yes.
Haberthur?
Yes.
Ardina?
Yes.
Ladati?
Yes.
Panici?
Yes.
Motion's carried unanimously.
Excellent. Thank you. Do we have a need to go into closed executive session?
Yes, we do.
Second?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Haberthor. All those in favor of going into closed session, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it, motion carried. Mr. Ganella?
Okay, be it resolved by the Board of Education, the private Board of Education being private, from which the public shall be excluded to discuss the topics of negotiations, specifically KEA secretaries' negotiations, and student personnel discipline matters, which private discussion is being held pursuant to Section 7B and 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters under discussion will be disclosed to the public as soon as final decisions are made and voted upon.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate everyone coming out. That now concludes this portion of the meeting. Thank you. See you in February. Stay warm.